everyone, it's me, John, and I'm back with your second Geek and Dorks review for today. I know I've been doing video games a lot lately, and that only covers a certain amount of my audience, so I wanted to also mention some filmed work. This is actually a documentary. It's called The Staircase. I believe it premiered on HBO, I think. But now you can see it on Google Play, you can buy it on Amazon, and if you go searching around, you could probably find several episodes for free. If I remember right, I think like the first 2 or 3 episodes are available on Vimeo. And basically, it is a multi-part series about a murder trial and investigation of a man named Michael Peterson. Now, if you're a fan of my Brain Scratch series, I highly recommend that you check this out. It's a bit similar in tone to the types of stories that I cover, but it really gives you insight into how these investigations go, and not just the investigations, but the defense. Actually, the lead defense attorney in this series is probably what I would consider the main character. The story kind of revolves around him and what he's going through a lot. It's also a great way for us to associate with the story because he has his own questions about Michael Peterson being involved in the murder, and it kind of reflects the feeling that you as a viewer have about this. This was shot, they say that there's a second season, but it's not really a second season. There's basically, if I remember right, there's either 6 or 8, I think it's 8 episodes that are essentially the first season, and that is pretty much picking up from the 911 call all the way through the legal trouble starting for Michael Peterson and taking it all the way to his trial. Then the story comes back about 8 years later and picks back up, and that's where season 2 happens, but really season 2 is just a follow-up of, I think there's only 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes there. But if you've never been involved with legal proceedings, this is a real good way for you to get a sense of what the justice system is truly like, kind of an inside view of what happens around it. Despite the fact that the documentary definitely focuses on the defense team, there is interviews and coverage from the other side, and there's a lot of footage of the actual courtroom. It kind of turns into a courtroom drama a bit in the later episodes. I don't want to give away the ending, so I'm not going to tell you what happened, especially if you're not familiar with the case. But I can tell you it's one of the most intriguing cases I've seen. It's an excellent way to see that type of content and to really come to understand all the things that go around a investigation and trial like this. And not just in terms of the attorneys and the defendant and the prosecution, but also the family. Michael Peterson has children. They're affected by what happens here. The investigators find old information and try to hoop that into the current charges in a very bizarre way. It just really gives you a good sense of some of the wacky nature that can happen around this, but in particular around the family and around their belief systems and what happens. I mean, for a child, it's got to be very tough. And any of my Brain Scratch friends out there, you know that I just did a story about Alyssa Turney, and basically her sister contacted me, and I got to understand this dynamic quite a bit better through talking to Sarah. There is just a very tough spot for children to be in when one of your parents might be involved in a crime like this, and your belief structure gets heavily questioned, and it is possible that it actually flips and flops back and forth between thinking they're innocent, they're guilty, they had something to do with this, they didn't, I love them anyway, they're still my father. Some really tough moments in this documentary, but it's excellent. It was actually suggested by a Brain Scratch fan. Thank you so much. It's one of the things I love about doing the show is when you guys bring me other media that I can review and dive into. And this thing hooked me. As soon as I saw the first 2 episodes, I had to watch a third, I had to watch the fourth. I knocked out the whole series in about 2 days, which was a ton. That was a lot of television watching for me. I usually don't watch that much, that focused. I totally binge watched it within a couple of days. And at the end, there was this weird thing where I still wanted more. I still wanted to continue with Michael Peterson's story and see where it goes. And there is some news coverage on it, so you definitely can, once you get to the end of this documentary series, you can dig in and find out some more details about where this has gone since. It is rated on IMDb with an 8.5 out of 10. I think that is very fair. It's also rated at a place called TV.com, which I don't know what they do, but apparently they only give it a 2.8 out of 10, and I think that's a joke. Unless they're used to regular television and they're looking for half-hour sitcoms, I don't know how you could rate this any less than a 7 at the lowest. It is high drama, an extremely interesting story. You've got the family elements woven in, the legal elements woven in. It comes to a conclusion. It's not a documentary that you get through and at the end you're kind of like, well, what the hell happened? I don't know. It really brings you to a set of conclusions. It's not a definitive answer, but anyone that is a fan of Brain Scratch, I'm pretty sure that you're going to enjoy this. So I just wanted to put the word back out there. Hopefully you guys will check it out for yourselves and tell me all about it in the comments below. Thank you for sticking around with me, and I'll catch you later on Geek and Dorks YouTube channel. Take care.